For the first time ever, 11 Alive is giving you a look at the Veterans Immersion program at the Georgia Aquarium. From diving into the deep blue to swimming at the top of the world's largest indoor tank. For the past 15 years, this program has given veterans the chance to become weightless and experience aquatherapy on a much larger scale while coming face to face with the world's largest creatures. Take a look. This past week, a group of alumni and veterans currently in Emory Healthcare Veterans Program got to participate in a gentle giant swim as part of the Veterans Immersion Program at the aquarium. Some came as far as Washington State just to have giant whale sharks and manta rays within foot's reach. Jeff Canterbury, the outreach coordinator for Emory's Veterans Program, says although this is not for everyone, it can be very relaxing.
Because speaking from personal experience, I'm not a big water guy. That's partly why I'm in the Army. I'm not a big fan of the water. Our veterans usually have a very positive experience. In my 4 years doing this with the veterans, I've never seen someone that says, this was horrible, I never want to do this again. They never say that. They always say, wow, this was so cool. I'm glad I got a chance to do this.
And Jason Bush, a former Marine and now manager of the aquarium's Military Salute program, which oversees the immersion program, agrees.
To be immersed in the water, both on top and under the water, it takes away a lot of the visual and audio hustle and bustle of everyday life, and just focus on being in the moment, something that many of us have learned through years of therapy.
The swim only lasts 30 to 40 minutes, but for some, it can be life-changing. Like it was for one paraplegic diver who he met through the program.
Being in the water and not being tied to his chair, it was just such a freeing feeling for him. And he did really, really well. And he said that the program really just changed his outlook on life and made him feel as a paraplegic that he isn't so confined.
And the good news is opportunities to participate in this are becoming more available.
We're really tightening up our partnership with the Georgia Aquarium in our experience with them and our opportunity with our patients to do this gentle giant swim as an opportunity as part of their treatment.
Right now, Jeff says Emory is already looking at 10 opportunities for next year, and it's completely free to the local and out-of-state veterans. Emory will even cover the cost of lodging and flights. Now, although the veterans cannot apply by themselves to participate, different veterans organizations like Wounded Warriors and the Shepherd Center here in Atlanta can apply through the aquarium to give 2 to 8 veterans the chance to do this. The gentle giant swims, like the one we just showed you, will resume in the new year. They happen on Wednesdays. All right, it's 9:18 on your Sunday. Let's bask in the glow of this win. UGA makes history with their bowl blowout over Florida State. We go to South Florida and get all the reaction from the Dogs' dominant night. That's next.
Rick Garney here with an 11 Live sports update. Dog pounding. UGA puts the squeeze on Florida State in the Orange Bowl, a 63-3 destruction for the biggest bowl blowout ever. 673 yards of total offense, fourth most in school history, including touchdowns on 9 straight possessions. We could spend all night talking about the stats in Georgia's 7th straight bowl win, but let's go from the worldwide headquarters of 11 Alive to South Florida and let Maria Martin take over.
You know, we're putting the country on notice that we're not going nowhere. We're going to be back.
The largest margin of victory in Orange Bowl history. Georgia got past Florida State 63-3, and they got rid of the Seminoles' perfect season. Also now the most lopsided bowl win in the history of Georgia football. And the Dogs not only wanted to win this game, they wanted to dominate. It was a message throughout the team during the month of preparation they had heading into this game at Hard Rock Stadium. It also sends the seniors out with their 50th win as a class, and all of the guys had so many amazing things to say about that group. Your last game in a Bulldogs uniform. What is the emotion for you right now?
I'm just really happy that the senior class was able to finish things the right way. I think about all the adversities we've been through as a senior class. Think about Rosalie, think about Devin, all of those guys, and I'm just really happy we got to finish it off this way.
Why was it important for you guys to keep your foot on the gas all 4 quarters?
Really just to show the world that, like I said, we're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? The country, we didn't get put in, and I feel like we should have got put in. I mean, at the end of the day, we one of the best 4 teams in the country. You can ask anybody around the nation that, and I don't think they disagree. So it's really just a testimony to all the hard work we put in, and just sending those guys out the right way.
2-time Mackey Award winner Brock Bowers did not play in the bowl game, but he was on the sideline all 4 quarters. He will forever be remembered as one of the greatest players in the history of Georgia football, and his teammates share that same sentiment.
Probably the best college football player of all time. Being able to play with him, have him on my team, be able to throw to a guy like that, I mean, he's going to go down in history books and he's going to be talked about for a long time.
When you look at a win as dominant as this one, you think there's a lot of positives to this one, and there were. Some of the younger guys getting playing time, but also a lot of the guys in that locker room pointed to their Orange Bowl MVP. Kendall Milton, in his final game in a Bulldogs uniform, he was fantastic. 109 rushing yards on 9 carries, 2 touchdowns, and he certainly ended his Bulldogs career on a high note. In Miami Gardens, covering the Bulldogs, Maria Martin, 11 Alive Sports.
And let's not forget, on this Saturday, the Braves make a big splash. They trade one of their higher-ranked prospects, Vaughn Grissom, to the Boston Red Sox. In exchange, they get a starting pitcher, Chris Sale. Sale is 34. At his peak, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball and a 7-time All-Star. But between 2020 and 2022, he dealt with various injuries. Braves GM Alex Anthopoulos likes what Sale brings to the table.
You know, we like him when he's out on the mound, and we love the makeup and the person and what he brings to the clubhouse, and we think he's a playoff caliber starter.
And the Braves could make more moves before we see them in spring training. That is your Look at Sports.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
11 Alive News Weekend Mornings starts now.
Welcome back. It's 9:27 on this New Year's Eve. Hey, you've got good news for the weather and the forecast tonight if you plan to go and celebrate ringing in the new year, Andrew.
Yeah, that's right, Christy. It's going to be nice to have some quiet conditions here for today and for tonight. Not expecting any rainfall. We will have a little more cloud cover build in tonight, but for this afternoon, stunning blue sky like what you're seeing right here. Look towards Midtown right now in Atlanta. It is just stunning, but don't be fooled. It looks like it's comfortable and warm. It's not. It's cold. 35 degrees right now. Feels like 31 because there's a bit of a wind chill factor. We have a west wind at about 5 miles per hour. Those winds were pretty calm overnight. Whenever we have a clear sky and calm winds, whenever those two things happen this time of year, it makes for a cold night, and that's exactly what we had just yesterday evening, or rather last night. Moving into this afternoon, temperatures are going to be rising into the 50s. Right now, though, it is 35 in Duluth, 33 in Marietta, 35 in Atlanta. We've got 31 in Carrollton and 30 in Peachtree City. Again, there's a little bit of a wind chill factor. Temperatures are about a degree or two below it feels a degree or two below rather than what it actually is out there. Either way, it's cold. Make sure you got a jacket on when you head out the door. A lot of sunshine, though, again for today. Helps our temperatures rebound nicely. We're going to be at about 48 degrees by the time we get to noon, just below that 50-degree mark, but we get above that by the time we get to 1, 2 o'clock, and then rising again into the mid-50s by the time we get to 4 p.m. Notice by about 6 o'clock, 52 degrees, cloud cover starting to move in, and maybe you're going to head out for the night whenever we get to around 8 o'clock. Mostly cloudy sky. Temperature is going to be in the upper 40s. We're going to be in the lower to mid-40s whenever we ring in the new year tonight at midnight. Again, just cloud cover, no rain expected. But what about the first full day of 2024? What can we expect for tomorrow? We'll talk more about that coming up. Christy?
A small community is wrapping its arms around each other and beginning the process of mourning the loss of a beloved Spalding County Sheriff's deputy. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy is live from the GBI headquarters this morning with a look at how Griffin is honoring the life of Sergeant Marc McIntyre. Erica.
Christy, it is a loss that is felt deep within the small community of Griffin. Sergeant Marc McIntyre served on the Spalding County Sheriff's Department for 8 years, and he impacted so many lives. It is an impact that residents, friends, and colleagues are choosing to highlight this weekend. Yesterday, there were two prayer vigils that took place at the Spalding County Sheriff's Complex. Sergeant McIntyre is being remembered as a fun-loving, kind man who cared about the community that he served. One man that we spoke with who led a prayer vigil earlier Saturday told us that when he heard what happened, he felt compelled to pray for the Sheriff's Department.
I'd say about 5.5 years ago, I was on the other side of this fence, and I was always the offender. And I can say one thing about them. I've given them a run for their money, and I'll tell you what, these officers here at Spalding County are great examples of community policing.
So that's a wide-ranging impact, an example of it anyway, with that man talking about how he used to be an offender. And he shared with us off camera that he had an encounter with Sergeant McIntyre, and that the guy was just a fun-loving, kind guy. Also want to add that local business there in Griffin called Downtown Nutrition is jumping in to help out here too. They've created a special beverage called police tea, and a portion of the proceeds from the sale of this police tea, which is about $5, will be given to Sergeant McIntyre's family to help out. Back to you in studio.
A lot of people finding ways to show their support and respect. If you would like to participate in that fundraiser for Deputy McIntyre's family, you can buy a police tea from Downtown Nutrition in Griffin from now through January 17th. The store is located at 130 South Hill Street. And for more on this case, you can follow all of the updates online at 11alive.com.